Hello everyone, my name is Cannon, and today I'm going to show you how to get started programming your Arduino board. We are going to be using the Arduino Create Platform to code our Arduino. So, what is that? Well, let's Google it. Arduino Create. Click on their website, create.arduino.cc, and it'll bring you to this. This is where we can, through the internet and our browser, program our Arduino board. So to start, let's click on Getting Started, and it'll talk you through what we need to do. So Arduino Create does a lot of things, and for our purposes, we really only care about the programming part. So let's click on Set Up Arduino Web Editor Plugin. It'll ask you some things. We're going to click Next, go to Download Plugin, and you can trust Arduino. It's a great company, and nothing malware going on here. So yes, we want it to make changes. It'll bring up the Arduino Setup agent. We'll click Next, accept the license. This is just an open source license saying that you will not inappropriately distribute their software, so like selling it. We'll click Next, decide we'll save it. I don't plan on programming with anything other than Google Chrome, so I will click Next and begin installing. Once done, I will click Finish and click Next. So normally it will ask you if you want to log in, and you've got to log in to program it. If you don't have a login, go ahead and create a new account. So I've already got the editor open in another tab. We'll just go there. So this is Sketch 28B. I'm going to rename this to Hello World. Actually, let me walk you through the new sketch process. So let's just go ahead and delete all of my sketches here. Sad, I know. So now I have no sketches, and this is what you will probably see when you pull up your board. I've got a few of these, so I might have to delete all of them. I guess it's creating a new one because it's got to have one pulled up. Anyways, let's click on New Sketch, and then we're going to go over here and click Rename. And let's name this Hello World. When you hit the spacebar, it'll make an underscore. We'll click OK. I'll go ahead and delete this other one. Okay, so now I've got my sketch Hello World opened up here. I'm going to exit off this sketchbook folder library thing just to have more space. And it'll ask me to select a board report. This is important because there are several kinds of Arduinos that can be programmed from this editor. So you need to tell it, this is the board that I'm using. The board that we're using is called the Arduino Uno. Select it, click OK, and if you notice, there's a little line with an X through it. That's because the computer is not actually connected to an Arduino. To do that, I need to plug my Arduino into my computer. You should have one Arduino and a programming cable. Go ahead and plug in the regular USB side of that into your computer and the other end into your Arduino. And if you give it a second, once you plug it in, it'll tell you that it has been connected. If you have any issues, I would suggest Googling Arduino not connecting or things like that. It's usually revolved around your computer either not having the drivers or it's not plugged in right. So to start, probably just plug and unplug your cable in a few times. What you find with hardware and programming robots is things don't always connect just right, and sometimes it may take a few tries without any reasonable explanation for why. So I'm going to assume you get that set up, and we're just going to start here. So if you click on this, you'll notice it says Arduino Uno connected at COM10. In the setup, we are going to type serial.begin 9600. So what is this? Well, that's basically the way our computer tells the Arduino how it's going to talk. What this 9600 means is how fast they're going to talk, how many bits per second, the baud rate. This is kind of like selecting the language of the computer, but not really, more of just how quickly they talk. So after saying serial.begin, in the loop, we're going to say serial.println hello world. And at the end of that, you'll need it to look exactly like this. You'll notice there are semicolons at the end of this. That's how the computer knows it's at the end of a line. The other way it knows is using these brackets. Now, before we run this code, let's talk a little bit about what we just did. With Arduino, there are two main functions in every program. There's the setup and there's the loop. The setup program runs once and the loop runs forever. When our Arduino is executing or running this code, it does it line by line. So it starts right here. Then it says, okay, it's void setup. I'm going to run from this curly brace to this curly brace exactly once. So it runs this line of code right here. Serial.begin says, okay, I know I need to talk at 9600 baud rate. Finds this next curly brace and says, okay, what's next? Then it comes down to the loop and says, oh, this is a loop. I need to run this forever. The first line says serial.println hello world. I'm sure you have some guesses as to what that does. It says hello world, and then it finds this curly brace. And once it finds this curly brace, it says, oh, I need to come back up here. So key takeaways are there's one loop that runs once and one that runs forever. And when the Arduino runs through this code, it does it line by line by line by line by line. If you ever unplug your Arduino or hit the reset button, it'll start all the way back up here at the top, which is really up here, but there's nothing. These are just a way of making comments. When you see these two things, it means the Arduino ignores it. So Arduino ignores this part. This is a good place to put your name and the info, all of that good stuff. But the Arduino will not listen to this. So I've been rambling for a bit about how this is all set up. I'm sure you just want to see something work. So let's go ahead and make it work. I'm going to click upload. And it'll tell me some stuff that's going on here. And the important thing is it says done, thank you. This AVR dude part right here, that's kind of like, think of that as like the board talking to us. So if you scroll through all this stuff right here, it's giving you back information. So it's telling us, hey, my device signature is this, something you don't really need to know. And it's just telling you what's going on. So if something doesn't go right, you can always look down here and see what the board said back to help troubleshoot what went wrong. So let's go ahead and open up the monitor. And it's saying hello world a bunch. So the monitor is kind of like where the Arduino talks back to the computer. This is where we can display exactly what it's saying. So it's doing this forever. I'm going to exit out of this, and what if we change this to say hello Canon, which is my name. I'm going to click upload, and it'll tell me down here when it's done. And I'm going to click on monitor, and here we go. It's saying hello Canon. Now, do you remember how I said the setup only runs once and the loop runs infinitely? What if there's a way for us to make our Arduino say hello Canon only once? Well, to do that, we will delete this in the loop, go up here, type serial.println hello Canon. Okay, and let's click run. Alright, so it says it's done. I'm going to click on the monitor, and it says hello Canon just once. Awesome, so that works. Why don't you take some time to play around with this and see what else you can make and see what else you can have it say. The important thing is now we can start programming our Arduino. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. Also, Googling is the best way to troubleshoot with Arduino. There are thousands of people who use Arduino, and with that comes a huge online support community. You can ask things on the Arduino forum, or really just Google whatever your question is, and you'll probably find something. Anyways, thank you. I hope you learned a lot in this video, and yeah, have a great day.